Hello everyone, welcome to my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a like up. 4 reasons why Roman Reigns was WWE's biggest FLOP of 2024. Roman Reigns is considered one of the top stars in pro wrestling today. Reigns' record-setting world title reign that lasted 1,316 days etched his name into the history books and established his legacy. 2021 to 2023 was ruled by the original tribal chief, witnessing the rise and dominance of the Roman Empire. Reigns put on incredible wrestling matches, elevated other members of the bloodline, Sami Zayn included, and produced cinematic storylines. However, 2024 was not that kind to the OTC. Owing to the following 4 reasons, Roman Reigns may be WWE's biggest flop in the last 12 months. Roman Reigns' last successful title defense came at Royal Rumble 2024, where he defeated LA Knight, Randy Orton, and AJ Styles. While the match was far from bad, it didn't set the world on fire and wasn't among Reigns' best outings in the squared circle. Among the 4 competitors, Reigns was the least protected as Knight, Orton, and Styles hit big moves on the OTC. Solo Sikoa's interference was expected and felt unnecessary, as it proved indecisive. Furthermore, Reigns failed to live up to his promise of stacking and pinning all 3 men. WWE could have booked a train wreck and reaffirmed Reigns' dominance heading into WrestleMania XL. Considering the talent on display and the significance of the match being the OTC's final title defense, the fatal 4-way at the Rumble was underwhelming. The road to WrestleMania XL gave fans little reason to complain, as it was packed with star power and top-tier storytelling. The Rock's heel turn and transformation into the final boss elevated Cody Rhodes' storyline with the Bloodline, but it took the spotlight away from Roman Reigns. The initial story was about Rhodes trying to finish his story by dethroning Reigns. However, his brewing angle with the final boss took precedence as most of the segments revolved around Rocky's beef with the American Nightmare. The lack of physicality didn't help as Reigns relied on Sikoa and The Rock, the infamous beatdown in the parking lot. Fortunately, the story had already been built with Rhodes' loss to the tribal chief at WrestleMania 39. After the fall of his empire at WrestleMania XL, Roman Reigns returned as a babyface to attack Solo Sikoa, who had taken over as tribal chief and made adjustments to the bloodline. Since Sikoa had taken out Jimmy Uso and Paul Heyman, Reigns had to fight the new bloodline alone, often suffering beatdowns due to the numbers game disadvantage. However, the tide shifted when Big Jim returned at Bad Blood. Jimmy was a valuable ally to Reigns, but they were outnumbered 4-2 by the new bloodline. Main event Jey Uso and Sami Zayn, estranged members of the OG bloodline, had differences with the OTC, who had manipulated and bullied them during the peak of his title run. Considering his brother's betrayal and subsequent antics, Jey was rather quick to forgive Big Jim and reunite the Usos. The former IC champion laid down his conditions for a reunion, but his inclusion was rushed as WWE had to prepare for Survivor Series. Sami Zayn's inclusion was also expected, but again it was rushed. However, Zayn didn't have reason to betray Sikoa. His motivations for reuniting with Reigns were ambiguous, especially after the OTC refused to apologize to Jey. With less than 2 months between Bad Blood and Survivor Series, War Games, there was never enough time to build tension and then lay the foundation for a reunion. Hence, the storytelling elements were compromised in this scenario. The main event of WrestleMania XL, Night 2 holds a special place in fans' hearts for the closing sequence featured WWE's endgame moment and Cody Rhodes finishing his story in an emotional finale. John Cena, The Undertaker, The Rock, the Usos, Solo Sikoa, and Seth Rollins in Shield gear were involved in an epic finale that fans will remember for a long time. The overbooking enhanced the entertainment value, but it undermined the in-ring action between Reigns and Rhodes. In hindsight, this was the OTC's only singles bout of 2024. The loss and overbooking which overshadowed him undermined his performance. Roman Reigns, once the cornerstone of WWE's main event scene, faced significant challenges in 2024. Known as the Tribal Chief, his dominance of the wrestling world seemed unstoppable after his record-setting Universal Championship reign and marquee WrestleMania appearances. However, this year marked a dramatic downturn in his career, tarnishing his once immaculate legacy. Here are 4 reasons why Roman Reigns became WWE's biggest flop of 2024. Reigns' Tribal Chief gimmick, which propelled him to the pinnacle of WWE, became stale and overexposed in 2024. For years, the persona captivated fans with compelling storylines and intense rivalries. However, by 2024, the aura of invincibility began to feel repetitive. Fans grew weary of Roman's lengthy monologues about family and dominance, which no longer added depth to his character. WWE creative failed to evolve his persona, leaving him stuck in a loop of recycled narratives. Matches often ended predictably, with interference from his bloodline allies or dubious tactics. This lack of innovation caused the audience to lose interest, leading to declining ratings for SmackDown segments featuring Reigns. While past iterations of his character allowed for dynamic storytelling, the overuse of the same tropes diminished the magic. Audiences wanted growth, but Reigns' refusal to adapt resulted in widespread apathy. Another major factor contributing to Roman's flop was the lack of compelling rivalries in 2024. For years, WWE paired him with top-tier opponents such as Brock Lesnar, Seth Rollins, and Drew McIntyre, delivering high-stakes drama. In 2024, however, his feuds felt uninspired and poorly executed. One of the most notable letdowns was his feud with Cody Rhodes. While their first clash at WrestleMania 39 was critically acclaimed, the 2024 rematch lacked the same intensity and storytelling finesse. Fans criticized the recycled build-up, claiming it failed to recapture the magic of their earlier encounter. Additionally, emerging stars like LA Knight and Solo Sikoa, once seen as potential challengers, were booked poorly against Reigns. Instead of elevating these wrestlers, the feud served only to maintain Roman's dominance, further alienating fans who hoped for a shakeup in the main event scene. Roman Reigns' reduced schedule, once seen as a way to enhance his star power, backfired spectacularly in 2024. As a part-time performer, Reigns was absent for much of the year, leaving major gaps in WWE programming. Fans were left frustrated by his sporadic appearances, especially when they failed to deliver anything meaningful. The Tribal Chief's part-time status also affected WWE's ability to build compelling narratives. Pay-per-views often felt incomplete without a world title match, and when Reigns did compete, the matches lacked the intensity and quality fans had come to expect. Even when he did appear, his in-ring performances failed to match the standards set during his peak years. Critics noted that his matches had become formulaic, relying heavily on storytelling rather than physicality. Fans who once admired his evolution into a complete performer now questioned whether his passion for wrestling had waned. Much like John Cena and The Rock before him, Roman Reigns began exploring opportunities in Hollywood. However, his transition into acting proved far less successful than his predecessors. While Reigns secured a few minor roles in action movies, none of them resonated with audiences or critics. His Hollywood aspirations also seemed to conflict with his WWE commitments. Rumors of backstage tensions and creative disagreements emerged, as WWE reportedly struggled to balance Reigns' part-time schedule with the demands of maintaining his star power. Fans who once supported his foray into acting began to criticize his split focus, arguing that it diluted his impact in WWE. The Tribal Chief's mystique relied heavily on his presence, and without consistent appearances, his dominance felt hollow. Roman Reigns' 2024 slump was a combination of poor creative decisions, lackluster rivalries, prolonged absences, and a failed Hollywood transition. While his accomplishments over the years remain undeniable, 2024 highlighted the challenges of sustaining a dominant run in professional wrestling. For Reigns to regain his status as WWE's top star, he must reinvent himself and recapture the spark that made him a once-in-a-generation performer. Fans and critics alike hope that 2025 will mark a resurgence for the Tribal Chief, proving that even the greatest can bounce back from failure.